Hey guys, what is going on? So I wanted to give an update on my weight gain experience on Turkesterone. So this morning I weighed in at 230 pounds and I actually weighed in more yesterday. I think I was like 231. And I was hesitant to kind of give that update just because over Christmas, maybe over like a 24-hour period or so, I was eating unhealthy foods. Now, I'm not sure if I was necessarily going over like my normal caloric intake, but the type of food that I was eating was not really what I would be eating traditionally. So I was having, sweets and stuff like that. So having all those carbs, potentially holding on to water and stuff like that, I didn't want to say, oh man, I gained all this weight really quickly. So over the past few days, I have been eating normally again. At least the past 2 or 3 days. So anything that happened during that time period should be, relatively minimal compared to what it was, when I was eating all those carbs and stuff like that. So I'm back on the normal diet. Obviously, it was just a little short break just because it was the holidays and there was a bunch of, bad food around me. Yeah, so basically, since I started Turkesterone, I have gained 10 pounds, which is crazy considering I'm not trying to gain weight at all. So, basically, when I took my first scan, I was about 215, 216, and then I added a little bit of water weight, which made sense after going, eating again at a normal level. And I was basically leveled around 220, 221 for weeks. Like it was consistent. I was eating like in a maintenance period, and I have been eating that same amount of food. I have been eating the same way, the same diet, the same times of day, everything like that. Nothing has really changed. And I've put on 10 pounds. So I'm not saying that I've gained 10 pounds of muscle or anything like that. I'm not saying 10 pounds of fat. I don't know what it is. But one thing to note is that, I have been going back to the gym, which, could be beneficial. But I also tend to drink more water when I actually physically go to a gym. So it's kind of a ritual for me to, listen to music, to have my big water bottle when I go to the gym. And that's something that I did before. So I take this like half-gallon container of water and I drink that. And that's something, again, I've been doing that for years. It's not something that I just started doing. So any weight numbers, any lean body mass stuff that I've shown in the past of my highest levels and stuff like that, that would be me drinking, that half-gallon around gym time. It's not like I drink the entire thing while I'm at the gym, but I drink it during that kind of time period to stay hydrated. So when I do my home workouts, my water intake is lower, but also my workout intensity is lower and stuff like that. But that is one thing to note. So maybe my water consumption is a little bit higher, but I do try and stay hydrated. I do drink water throughout the day, and I always have drank water. Even when I'm at, home workouts and stuff like that, I still do drink water. It's just I don't have that same like, okay, I got to take this big jug with me to the gym and stuff like that. So that's the only difference. But other than that, carb intake is back to normal. My weight did drop like a little bit, from a day or two ago, just because, probably holding on to a little bit less water. But 10 pounds gained is pretty substantial eating the same foods that I was eating before. In terms of like strength numbers and stuff like that, I did see Derek posted on his story one of his athletes after, I think he just did a show and he just went up in weight like crazy. And obviously that's a post-show rebound. But apparently he put on like 20 pounds to his bench and 55 pounds to his squat or something crazy like that. Now, I don't know what that guy has taken in the past or what he's currently taking or whatever. He said he's not taking anything. I don't know how much I believe that. Honestly, that seems pretty much impossible to me, but I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But if that type of thing can happen in terms of strength gains, I wonder what's going on with me, because it seems like for me, I have seen not really any strength gains, although I'm not really training for strength. But it does seem like I've seen muscle gains. So I've had a couple people in the comments talk about, they've improved their weight on their lifts, but they've only been taking it for a short period of time. So I don't know how long it takes to kick in. For me, it seemed like it took a few weeks to notice anything. And I still haven't really noticed any like tremendous amount of strength gain. One thing I did notice yesterday, I was doing overhead press and I was going heavy, and I actually was able to hit a pretty decent amount of reps while I was doing that. But I did kind of notice that my left trap kind of tweaked it a little bit. I woke up this morning and I feel pretty good. I could probably go lighter on overhead press today if I were to do it. But today is leg day. So anyway, My strength numbers seem like they are rising, but they're not necessarily like PR level, just because I have been doing more bodybuilding type stuff. And like I said, my strength numbers usually take a dip when I focus away from strength and go more towards bodybuilding. I know a lot of you guys do a little bit of both, where, you know, you're doing progressive overload and all that good stuff. For me, when I strength train, I focus specifically on getting those lifts up. I don't really do a lot of bodybuilding. I, really focus on getting low reps, speed work, stuff like that. So when I'm doing my strength training, it's kind of like a very dedicated thing. So it makes sense if I'm going to stop doing that and focus more on bodybuilding and really just kind of moving the weight a little bit more slowly and stuff like that. It makes sense that my strength would drop. And that's kind of what has happened to me historically as I have been gaining muscle. But then I can go back and bring those strength numbers back up. So my goal is either by the end of this whole Turkesterone experiment to start ramping my weights up slowly and then kind of see if I can hit some PRs, or just kind of continue to focus on muscle gain. And then after Turkesterone, potentially go ahead and try and do like a strength block or something like that. But for now, I'm just focused primarily on building the most muscle possible. And I don't want strength to kind of get in the way of that. I don't want my CNS to be taxed from doing all types of strength work, when in reality, I'm trying to, put on as much muscle as possible, get volume in, hit muscles from different angles, work on weak points, all that good stuff. So not focused on going super heavy. It does seem like my strength is rising though, but again, doesn't seem like it's quite at PR levels. I know some people have said kind of the opposite, where they're hitting PRs left and right, and that's really cool. We'll see if I can kind of get to that level, but for now, it just seems like mostly a muscle thing. And at the very least, I'm gaining weight extremely quickly, like to a point where you would think I would be absolutely force feeding myself, which I'm not. So, yeah, that's the update. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. I will keep you updated, and I'll talk to you soon.